Hi everyone, this time I'm gonna talk to all of you a little bit about interfaces. What interfaces are in Typescript, and I'm gonna show you real quick how do we create an interfaces in our code editor. So let's get started. One of the TypeScript foundational is type checking focus on how they get shape for their values. This is so called as doc typing. In TypeScript, interface fulfills a role of naming these types, and they are a powerful way to define contracts inside of the code. But what does it mean with this term doc typing? Doc typing means that an operation doesn't specify requirements that the operand meet up. The thing is, you don't need to specify the type in order to invoke an existing method on an object. If a method is defined on it, then you can invoke it. This term is applied in some object-oriented languages in which docs looks like objects from the real world. I mean, if an object got the needed method, then it's more than enough for us, so like this, it's irrelevant its type. So let's review a little bit on this and how the interface are working, even what they are, and how we can use them on our TypeScript code. An interface describes an object in which they can receive a name, parameters, and also you can compose new name object types. For instance, we're gonna look at an interface that defines two properties and a method for the employee object. Well, if we go to our code editor here, let's define this interface that we call as employee with following properties. One of them is first name as a string, and the other one is last name, defined as a string, of course. And I'm gonna define another one that is gonna be like get full name. This method returns a string value, in which will be the result of the two properties mentioned before. Let's see something important that we can notice here. The thing is that interface don't initialize or implement declared properties within them. This is because of they describe a type as their only purpose they have. It is like it defines contrast requirements, whereas a variable, function, or a class implements an interface that satisfies that contract by providing required implementation details. After we got a defined interface, we can use it as a type and get all the benefits of the type checking and intelligent features that TypeScript brings up. Now let's see an example that implements an interface declaring a variable as employee. This type fulfills the contract by providing related values to first name, last name, and specifying that the method getFullName should combine as first name as last name, and then should return the result. Type checking ensures the number 10 cannot be assigned to employee.firstName, since the value actually needs to be a string. It is important to mention that interfaces aren't built in runtime. These are built in compile time instead. The interfaces are useful to get a document and check the required way of the properties. Objects are passed as parameters, and the objects are returned by functions. And last but not least, interface allow to capture any error and ensure that you are passing around right parameters in compile time instead of waiting to find out about them in runtime.